It's me, Uncle Deadward. Hey, I know what you're thinking. How can someone that young and attractive be wise? First of all, thank you. And reading! Over the past few years, I've read or listened to the 45 books pictured here, and more. Consequently, there's a lot of wisdom under this wig. Since childhood, I've been pondering the meaning of life. I remember lying in my bed as a kid, wigless and afraid, concerned about what will happen when the world ceases to exist, trying to grasp the concept of a universe made up of nothing but empty space. I'd heard somewhere that the Earth, along with all its inhabitants, would one day fly into the sun and be incinerated. Existential dread was my thing from an early age. By young adulthood, I guess you could say I'd become an expert at worrying. There have been some scary times over the past decades, but 2020 took it to the next level. I feel your pain. As the busyness of life slowed to a crawl, my search for meaning kicked into overdrive. I dove into books on everything from quantum physics and perceptual consciousness to facts and the importance of not giving them. I read accounts of the life of Jesus and accounts of the lives of humanoid and non-humanoid extraterrestrials. I pored over stories of Earth and stories from heaven. I learned how to ask for help, and I learned how to find everything I need within myself. Although some of the higher concepts flew right over my head, I managed to absorb a lot of this information. I have gained a general understanding of the world and all its wonders, physical and intangible, as well as a defined belief system which I use to guide all my life's decisions. Knowing what I believe is a great comfort to me. By sharing this, maybe I can inspire you to do your own investigating and help you find some comfort as well. I urge you to do your own research, maintain a healthy sense of skepticism about everything you hear, especially when you haven't established whether or not the source is worthy of your trust. Ultimately, I guess it comes down to what you choose to believe. After years and years of wondering, asking, leaping forward, worrying, seeking distractions, falling backward, trying, failing, almost giving up, then trying again. Here's what I've come to believe about the nature of life, existence, and being human. 1. Nothing is as it appears to be. It's hard to wrap your mind around, but actual smart people, scientists who devote their lives to studying such things, know that all physical things, upon closer inspection, are basically vibrational energy. True, I'm not a scientist, and my description is highly simplified, but an average 150-pound human body, for example, contains about 6.5 octillion atoms, which are vortexes of spinning energy. That's 65 followed by 26 zeros, spinning energy balls. Everything we see is actually bunches of vortexes of spinning energy. Everything. 2. We'll never fully understand everything in this lifetime. Our 5 senses are extremely limited. There are mysteries we cannot possibly understand as we wander around the earth in our meat suits, observing it all from a 3-dimensional perspective. We think we know it all, Meanwhile, there are particles we cannot see without the use of fancy mechanical gadgets. There are sounds only dogs can hear, and scents which we cannot smell that snakes gather from the air with their tongues. It's as though the more we know, the more we realize we don't know. 100 years ago, would anyone on Earth have understood the concept of mobile phones? Don't even get me started on the possible existence of parallel realities, reincarnation, and the fact that time is an illusion. Those are discussions for other days. There's a lot we don't understand, and that's okay. 3. Discovering how the world works and our place in it is the reason we are here. Thought leaders, notably Gary Zukov, have deemed the Earth a school which moment by moment offers us opportunities to learn about ourselves, whether life on Earth is a school, a game, or an experiment. It sure is challenging. We spend our time focusing on sometimes pleasant but often infuriating distractions. We devote a lot of energy to being angry and then wonder why the world we see is full of so much discord. The good news is all this doom and gloom is inspiring more of us to question the meaning of our lives. And if you've made it to this point in the video, you fall into the category of questioning. It's been said that the unexamined life is not worth living. I don't necessarily agree with that. There can be a lot of value in a life spent floundering around, feeling like a victim, believing that everything sucks and then you die, or being born into a life of advantage, living comfortably oblivious, though mildly annoyed, then passing away with your private attendant who is only there for the paycheck by your side. There is value in these lives. Unfortunately, that value probably won't be realized until after these physical lives have ended. I skated through college, skipping classes, choosing instead to sit in my dorm room and chill with my buddy, Captain Morgan. I managed to graduate, but my GPA was dangerously low. Though I retained very little from the courses I completed at the University of Connecticut, I did learn one important lesson. Don't let an opportunity for learning pass you by. I'm taking full advantage of my time in the Earth School, and I urge you to do the same. Tuition is free, and the curriculum is truly fascinating. 4. Socks with sandals are a fashion do. 5. Being pessimistic isn't cool or edgy. I used to take great pride in being a realist. I was always ready to break it down for everyone. My basic story was, the world is full of bad people doing bad things. I was such a gangsta, or so I thought. My point of view began to change as I realized that, as I stated earlier, nothing is as it appears to be. There's so much we don't know, etc., etc. Yes, we need to interpret things in order to make sense of the world around us, but what if those we have deemed bad people who are doing those bad things are actually serving a purpose? Maybe they're there to show us how we shouldn't behave, or to inspire us to take action. For me, it has often taken something bad happening to prompt me to move my physical ass off the sofa and take charge of my life. What if the bad ones are here to offer us the opportunity to choose love and acceptance without judgment? Could their purpose be to annoy us so much that we delve into all kinds of spiritual and scientific books about the nature of reality? Or are those bad people doing bad things actually manifestations of our own negative thoughts? Do we have a lot more power to change things than we realize? 6. Thoughts create our reality. As the placebo effect demonstrates, our beliefs can determine outcomes. Sugar pills cure as well as drugs if we believe they will. Then there's the double slit experiment. Yeah, Google it for a good time. The interpretations of the double slit experiment vary, but waves of potentiality? Particles behave differently based on whether or not they're being observed? Can we twist this a bit and say that events in the physical world are random until we focus on them? How about pushing it even further? Like the placebo effect, can we believe our way to a life filled with positive outcomes by believing that the outcomes will be positive? I choose to say we can. Now, I've read tons of articles disproving this. There's always a smarty pants, Dr. Debbie F. Downer, PhD, who is ready to explain to me in language that even my simple mind can grasp why believing in magic makes me an idiot. Still, I choose to believe. 7. We continue to evolve throughout our lives. As I continue to live and learn, I'm sure I'll find that I have to rethink, revise, even let go of some of the beliefs I hold today. I'm always willing to listen to contrary opinions, but I'm pretty firm on the points I've detailed here. There's one thing I'm absolutely sure about. I will never stop believing that socks with sandals are a functional yet fashionable choice. 8. Everything will ultimately be all right. This I can promise you, dearest random stranger and future internet pal. We, like socks with sandals, are eternal. As eternals, we have been through 5 extinctions on this planet alone. Yet here we are again, having forgotten pretty much everything we've learned through all the trials and tribulations of living in a 3-dimensional reality. As the scientific law of conservation of mass tells us, matter cannot be destroyed or created. So our physical bodies are basically just recycled and rearranged elements as old as the universe. I believe that, like matter, our consciousness or soul cannot be destroyed. It's forever and part of the organizing force of the universe. But do your own research and think for yourself. If you believe that we are soulless creatures for whom life sucks and then you die, well, at least after death, our physical struggles would be over. But I have a more hopeful scenario for you to consider. Remember, I was the child who used to lie in bed at night fretting over the imminent demise of the earth and all its residents. Nothingness was a concept that I couldn't grasp as a kid. Many, many years later, I still can't fathom a universe in which we don't exist. And that's because such a universe is not possible. Our souls, which cannot be destroyed, travel around this tangible world using these physical vessels to experience the wonders of this reality. We begin as blank slates, gather information, and do our best to make sense of it all. We enjoy or abhor tastes, smells, sounds, and touches from the vast catalog of earthly creations. We interact with other souls in disguise, having forgotten that we are all part of a larger consciousness. In all our charming naivete, some of us come to think of ourselves as powerless, pitiful creatures at the mercy of a cruel, unfeeling world. Others think we are badass warriors. We spew hate and sling weapons as if one big kaboom wouldn't bring a sudden and messy end to us in our remarkably delicate flesh pods. Different people choose to interpret the same world in different ways. We have the free will to make our own choices. We can choose to wallow in the unfortunate or focus on the good. We can take full advantage of all this 3-dimensional plane has to offer. Savor that avocado toast. Luxuriate in the avocado's silky deliciousness and delight in the crispy, toasted, lightly salted and peppered pumpkin seeds that lie atop it, waiting to tickle our tongues. Fully immerse ourselves in the experience of hearing the angelic voices of our favorite singers. revel in the beat, and give ourselves permission to dance whenever the mood strikes us. Thrill to the electric sensation of our special someone's warm fingertips gently brushing against our. You get the idea. Live in fear or live in wonder. You have the power to choose. If you choose to believe me, someone who has been pondering this stuff since he was a small child, I'm here to assure you of this. Everything will ultimately be all right. This is Uncle Deadwood sending you tons of love and appreciation and reminding you to use your powers wisely. I will see you again very soon.